epiphany. The jocks surrounded them. Beefy, muscled, brain-dead athletes the cheerleaders kept on short leashes. They were as awful as their female counterparts. Unable to use their minds for individual thought, they joined the toxic groupthink of this tragic town. The haves and the have-nots. Isolated enough from bustling civilization, the only kind of people that tolerated this kind of middle-of-nowhereness were farmers with enough land to make it worth their stay, or the poor among us who couldn't afford a ticket to the big city. I was part of the latter group. Born on the wrong side of the railroad tracks and far enough outside of town to be considered the boonies, the dilapidated double-wide I called home was located dead center of the local trailer park and had an open-door policy to any of the men that hadn't managed to piss my hurricane of a mother off. I didn't have an idyllic childhood, but it was the only one I knew. I didn't choose the trailer trash life. The trailer trash life definitely chose me. "Little Ruby Dawson," a smooth operator of a voice crooned from behind me. "What the hell are you doing here?" I stilled, willing my shoulders not to rise. It wasn't that he'd called me out in an angry way. It was actually the opposite. His voice was rumbly and gentled, as if he were afraid to spook a cornered forest animal. His voice irritated me all the same, and it did funny things to my resolve. The bucket list burned in my pocket, forcing me to question my motives for showing up here tonight. Turning around as nonchalantly as I could manage, I stared at the boy that went out of his way to make my life extra miserable. "I could ask you the same thing, Levi Cole." Ha! Using his full name the way he used my full name would show him who's boss. He smirked, because that was what Levi Cole did. He smirked and smoldered and sneered, and sometimes he smarmied. Not that he couldn't pull it off, because he so could. Tall enough for a power forward position on the basketball team, fast enough for starting quarterback, smart enough to invade all my AP classes, and handsome enough to have all the females simpering after him down every hallway at school and around every stalk of corn on his family's mega farm. He was the epitome of everything everybody wanted to be in Clark City. Plus, his parents made him work their farm, so his muscles were natural, not the plasticky gym kind, but the born from back-breaking labor kind. He made some girls drool. Not me, obviously, but other girls. Okay, sometimes he made me drool too. Like when he took off his shirt for practice, or when he stopped smirking for long enough to flash a real, genuine, heart-stopping smile. But mostly, he made me consider murder in the first degree. Unfazed by my tone, he leaned forward and I got a whiff of him. I wrinkled my nose, expecting the strong smell of booze. Instead, I inhaled clean soap and the faint hint of laundry detergent. "This isn't your scene, Ruby. What are you doing here?" Again, anyone else in our class would have been aggressive when kicking me out of their party, but he was only openly curious. Not that it would last. Eventually, our moment of neutrality would break, and one of us would strike. Hopefully, it would be me. Hopefully, I would draw blood. "Congratulations," I deflected. "Salutatorian. That's a big deal. I thought for sure Kristen had it in the bag." He narrowed his eyes. I could have sworn it was to stop the eye roll I knew he wanted to let loose. His perfect, perky, popular cheerleader girlfriend was probably the very last on the list of award-winning candidates, and he knew it. "Make fun of her all you want, Dawson, but we both know she would have given a hell of a speech." His gaze flicked to where she stood in a group of clones, pumping her fist in the air, shouting, "Chug, chug, chug," sucking in my bottom lip.